Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and it's an exercise video. This is such a brilliant exercise. It has no name though. I couldn't find a name for it or think of one up, so we're just going to get straight into the video. But I thought I'd just show you how I've laid it out in my arena. You can either just do poles on the ground, or you can do raised poles, or even do small jumps or bounces. Very flexible exercise that suits riders and horses of all abilities. Now kindly Lara is riding Corporal for me so I can video it, and it's an exercise you do all on one rein, so you do it all on the left first or all on the right, and it's great for working on your horse's focus, agility, suppleness, making sure that you working on good turns, keeping the rhythm and the balance, and for the rider making sure that you look up and ahead, that you use your outside leg. Really great for making you use your outside leg, and that you keep the horse straight. So this exercise covers loads of areas, and it's great if you're riding dressage horse, show jumper, eventer, suits all types. And you can see, very good to do it in walk always, as I say, very beneficial for the horse to do pole work in walk, as they have to actually physically lift their feet up off the ground, whereas when they're in trot, they've got that natural bounce, which makes it that little bit easier for them. So here Lara has then changed the rein and gone onto the left rein. So each time she goes over a pole, she sort of does a circle back on herself to the next pole. Does that make any sense? So always looking ahead, thinking ahead, making sure she's got some smooth, easy turns, using her outside leg so that Corporal doesn't drift. And yeah, just all about a good, even rhythm. Moving on to the trot, this exercise actually gets harder as you move up the paces, especially when you get into canter. So in the trot, you're looking for a nice balanced, even rhythm throughout the exercise, especially on those turns. That's where it's very easy for the horse to lose a bit of momentum or just slightly drop back. So make sure the trot stays the same throughout all of this exercise. Again, on these turns, watch the horses don't fall in or drift out. So you have to really use your legs, stay nice and tall in your upper body. And it's important to look up and ahead as you're riding each part of this exercise. The more you can look up and ahead, the easier the moves and turns will become. And really just want to make sure you get the horse back to the poles nice and straight. For horses, great if you have a horse that likes to rush. This really keeps them focused, and it's very hard for the horse to rush throughout this exercise. And you could also make this exercise even more tricky by adding transitions in between the poles. So that could be a way to up it if your horse is working at a slightly higher level. So for example, on any of the turns, you could add a walk transition in. Another way to improve the difficulty of this exercise is to raise the pole. So I've just raised the poles that are running kind of along the centre line, as you can see there. And it's just another way to get the horse using their hindquarters a little bit more, working their core, improving the top line. So I'm going to speed the video up because you already know how the exercise works, but it's just a good extra. Moving on to doing this exercise in canter. This is quite tricky in canter, so if you're on a green or a young horse, you might want to just leave it at the walk and trot until they're ready for this exercise. You could obviously make your turns bigger if you're in a bigger space, which would make it easier. And I would also like to add that Lara's only ridden Corporal about 5 times, and she's come off of the pony, so she did a brilliant job, because he was a little bit cheeky in places, because he thinks cantering over poles means it's jump time, so he gets a little enthusiastic. Anyway, when you get into this exercise, it's all about the balance, the rhythm, thinking quicker as a rider, making sure that you keep the horse supple and soft through those turns without losing the rhythm. It's so easy on the bend, especially when you're show jumping, for the horses to just slightly drop off your leg, and then the rhythm's lost. So in this exercise, as a jockey, you have to keep your legs on, and you have to be quick thinking in it, and making sure that the horse doesn't rush. You want the rhythm to stay the same from each pole. Like I say, it's working on that control, working on your focus, yours and the horses. And really, it's quite a workout for the horse, this exercise. Another great thing about this exercise is it's really brilliant for horses' footwork. These poles come up pretty quick throughout this exercise. So not only does it get the horse being a little bit sharper with its feet, it also helps the rider stay focused. Another way to make this exercise that little bit more technical would be to raise the jumps that are by the centre line. So this could be great then to really work on a horse's agility and really getting them thinking quickly. So you might want to make them into bounces or little spreads. I don't think you would want to put the jumps up too high because this exercise comes quite quickly with the poles, but I think it could be great for getting a horse to really think that little bit quicker, work on maintaining a really good canter rhythm to the jump. So like I've said before, if you've got a horse that tends to rush in jumping, this could be a brilliant exercise. Or if you've got a horse that perhaps struggles to keep a good canter throughout the turns, again, really good exercise. So you can kind of play around with it and really adjust it to suit horses of all abilities. So it's a really good one to have set up and have a play around with it. Thanks for watching.